Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. I hope you're all well. Good to see you again. Good to speak to you again. I never see you. I only speak to you. I saw a few in the pub the other night, but generally, very strange things happen. Camille Pallier dropped me a line. What's that about? Although, I love her work, so I'm quite excited to see if it's actually her and whether she's going to respond, but it's on her official page and all that stuff. She reached out. Hello. Camille Pallier. What's going on? So I've got something from the UN, the United Nations, right? From the United Nations that I think is important because it's about violence against women and girls and protecting them from serious harm. And it came out on the 24th of April, and it's worth us paying attention to because what we're seeing now is the domino effect of CAS is beginning to affect things. Some of you will already seen, I've been up to stuff with, we've got to stop the prides. There has to be a moratorium. So make sure that they safeguard. If they're going to be public and they're going to be open and they're available to children and they've got a family element, we're going to have to make sure that they are not pushing what Cass has described as iatrogenically harmful by pushing their gender nonsense. It's a safeguarding issue. So I've written to the local counselling safeguarding board. And I know that one of my warrior teachers has had a similar thing happen with a school safeguarding board. We've got to get the safeguarding board involved. That's what I'm waiting for now, to see whether they'll get involved, whether they can actually do their damn job. So this came from Geneva. The UN Special Rapporteur on Violence Against Women and Girls, Reem Al-Salam, today welcomed the recent commitment by the UK Secretary of State for Health and Social Care to implement recommendations contained in the independent review of gender identity service for children and young people. You recall that tremendous bravura performance in Parliament a few days ago. They also are pleased to see the announcements from both the Welsh and Scottish government that they would suspend the prescription of puberty blockers to children in the wake of the report's findings. And on the back of that, the Special Rapporteur, Reem Al-Salam, what a lovely name, issued this statement. Okay, this is good stuff. The final report of the CAS review highlights the recent sharp increase in referrals to the National Health Service NHS Gender Identity Development Service, GIDS, of young people, particularly girls, experiencing gender incongruence dysphoria. That's the first bit I disagree with. They're just in distress. We don't know why. According to the report, between 2009 and 2016, the number of adolescent girls referred to GIDS increased from 15 to 1071, to 1,071 there. The CAS review, led by an independent consultant paediatrician, Dr. Hilary Cass, over a 4-year period, stresses the importance of considering this phenomenon within the context of poor mental health and emotional distress affecting the broader adolescent population. Right, so this, the game's up. Affirmation's done. Goodbye, affirmation. Farewell, amen. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Yeah, I welcome the report. Insights into increasing numbers of children and young people being referred to NHS support about their gender identity, and the extraordinary high number of teenage girls who have been impacted by anxiety and expression in recent years. So this is it's a bit mealy-mouthed, right? I think it's a bit mealy-mouthed. And it then goes on, Cass says, talking about adopting a holistic approach, which we all know. The review also acknowledges the toxicity of the debate surrounding gender treatments, calling for nuanced discussion of how best to understand and respond to children and young people in the centre of the debate. Essentially, we're seeing, Scotland and Wales have gone, right, okay, we're going to stop it, right? So which is a good thing. That's really good news. So because that will begin to end the whole trans boondoggle anyway. So that's a really good start. The UN has come out and said, yeah, we got a problem there. But yet they're still using the language of the cult, which is the bit that bothers me. There is no such thing as gender identity. It is just personality. Gender identity is personality. Gender expression is fashion. You have a personality, which if you stop fanning around with this nonsense, you'll get to develop a character on top of. Because that's the bit people will know, right? That's the bit people will know is when they get to know your character. You become seasoned, is the word. You become seasoned with time and with understanding. So I think it's a good move that the UN have come out and said this, in particular pointing out that it's absolutely necessary to defeat the trans menace because it's about the safety of women and girls. And I don't understand why people still don't get it. I mean, they don't. I've got gay mates, who are still holding on, clutching on to the petticoats of these ridiculously larping men. I've still got friends doing it. So from my perspective, anybody that joins the bandwagon, feel free. But the UN has form on a lot of this, and we're going to have to keep an eye on them because I don't trust them for 1 second. You have to watch them all. UN, WHO, UNESCO, the whole kit and caboodle up there, and see what they're doing. But we've gone some way, I believe, now into eradicating this nonsense, and I hope that this continues. And I'm sure you do too. Welcome on board the UN. It's about time. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.